It is the Pittsburgh Hockey Now and the National Hockey Now YouTube channel. Hi, I'm Dan Kingerski. It is the Penguins postgame. Sorry, it's been a long 36 hours. Been up since about 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. It's now after 1:30 Thursday morning. The Penguins beat the Montreal Canadiens 4-3 in a shootout at Centre Bell on Wednesday night. For all those games, the Penguins played pretty well but didn't win. They got one back on Wednesday. I think the Montreal Canadiens really outplayed the Penguins. In the first period, really outchanced them by a significant margin. I don't think the Penguins really had any offensive attack or push. In the third period, got it to overtime. Alex Nedeljkovic weathered the storm. Montreal had 9 shots in overtime, and the teams traded goals in the shootout. The longest ever shootout for both the Penguins and the Canadiens goes 12 rounds. Jansen Harkins wins it. But here's the thing. The reason the Penguins won, the biggest difference between the Penguins and Canadiens on Wednesday was Sidney Crosby. Crosby is dominant the right word? He was just next level on Wednesday. 3 points, including a pair of goals. Whenever he was on the ice, the puck was his. Whenever he was on the ice, he was creating and pressuring and pushing. And he and Gensel really kind of were in sync and clicking. That was the biggest difference for the Penguins. It really was. The rest of the team, I thought was, I don't want to say flat, but ineffective might be a word that could be used. The third line with Lars Eller, Radim Zohorna had some real moments, some good shots in the offensive zone, but I don't know that they were great. The Malkin line, once again, the puck followed them. The puck was on Evgeny Malkin's stick all night. I don't know that they did enough to create more hard chances, more great chances. And I think the Penguins maybe snuck out of Montreal with a couple of points that they otherwise wouldn't have gotten. Alex Nedeljkovic improving throughout the game. Erik Karlsson had maybe his worst night as a Penguin. A couple of those first period turnovers were ghastly. Those were brutal. Second one winds up in the back of the Penguins' net. But let's get back to Sidney Crosby. Because, as you probably know, the big writers in Canada hold a lot more sway and influence in terms of leading the discussion for individual awards, player reputations, so on and so forth. And I was the last Pittsburgh guy in the Montreal media room. By the way, they gave us beer in the media room. It was glorious. I'm writing away, and the usher brings this bucket of beer, in a silver bucket, puts it in the middle. I keep my head down, keep working. I figure let the local guys have at it. Someone brings me a beer and says, you need one of these. And I agree, I need one of these. So we keep writing, keep talking. And now it's just a few of us left. They bring me another beer. You need one of these. Yes, I do. I won't tell you who I was talking with, but I was indeed talking with some of the bigger writers, national types in Montreal Wednesday. And yes, Sidney Crosby is indeed starting to get that look. He's now on the radar for the Hart Trophy. You saw the Pittsburgh Hockey Now report card in my headline. Crosby deserves Hart Trophy talk. I may have slipped it in the conversation. So if Sidney Crosby is indeed a finalist down the road for the Hart Trophy or even wins it this year, remember to thank your old buddy Dan for really shoving that ball just a little bit forward in the middle of November. Crosby doesn't lead the NHL in even strength points anymore, but he's right there. And what he is doing for the Penguins, I think, was really well exemplified on Wednesday, because I think Malkin's line, Lars Eller's line, Jonathan Gruden's line could have played for a couple of days and they weren't going to score. Crosby did. Crosby just I'm doing this. And he did. He did with, he and Jake Gensel really were next level, clicking. And that power play goal they scored, but Crosby kind of, draws a defender to him and then backhands it, backhand sauce to Gensel's one-timer. That was really something to see in person. And sometimes it is a little bit surreal. People are going to talk about Sidney Crosby for the next 50 years. They're going to talk about Crosby, and I get to see this stuff on a day in, day out, on a nightly basis. My life ain't so bad. You get a suite in Montreal where they upgrade you because you're a Hotels.com VIP member. And it's really cheap too, by the way. Like, this hotel was like $110 a night. Downtown Montreal, the arena is 7 minutes that way. St. Catharines is a block that way. Free parking too. Hotel Nouveau, I happily give them a little recommendation. They left me a gift bag with cookies and chips and water. They even, get this, because I guess there's been a rash of car thefts in Montreal over the last several weeks. The hotel clerk said, "Oh, no, hang on. Where's your car?" And I said, "Oh, it's down in the garage." They pull out like this, remember the club? This next generation club, go put this on your car. Okay, happy, thank you. They really take pretty good care of me here. So I've stayed here like 5 or 6 times in the last couple of years. And so happy to recommend them. Happy to tell you that Sidney Crosby deserves every mention for the Hart Trophy. I think Crosby is the difference this year between the Penguins being where they are. Don't get me wrong. The Penguins are nowhere in the standings. They're a couple of points out of a playoff spot, but the games in hand are all over the map and the 4 teams ahead of them. Without Sidney Crosby having this type of year, they might be in the tank already. No joke. They might be an 8 or 9 win team, and we're talking about selling. Sidney Crosby is that difference this year. So, subscribe, say hi. Check out Pittsburgh Hockey Now. Check out the postgame. Check out the grades. We'll have this video here and the locker room as well in the morning. Plus, if I find time, it is, good Lord, it's almost a quarter till 2 a.m. And I still have to do the Dan's Daily and get on my way to Toronto tomorrow morning. It is surreal, this life, but it also, Danning ain't easy. I will talk to you soon, kids. Have fun.